Hello, my name is Jeremy, and today I'm going to be going over the Mind of Habit habit tracker. And this habit tracker is going to be perfect for you if you have tried a few habit trackers, maybe mobile apps, maybe desktop apps, and you haven't really stuck with them, and you're on the lookout for a new habit tracker to use, or if you're a Notion user and you're looking for a habit tracker to use on your Notion account. And without further ado, here it is. We worked really hard on it, and I'm really excited to show it to you guys today. At the very top here, we have a quote of the day, which refreshes every time you refresh the page. So if you log on throughout the day, or every other day, you'll have a new motivational quote to help inspire you to continue working on your habits. We have the Minded Habit Instagram account widget popped up here that you can link to or even click on right here and listen to the video or check out whatever it is. At the very top, we've worked really hard to have a really thorough guide of how it works and any frequently asked questions you might have, or I'm basically going to be covering everything in this guide in this video. You don't want to refer back to the video, or if you get a little bit confused while you're using it, the guide is a great place to get your questions answered. And so yes, feel free to look through these and kind of figure out how things work and what's the best way to go about working with the tracker. Alongside that is, if you ever have any questions, feel free to email me here. And I can also help you personally one-on-one. Anyway, here it is. We built out all 52 weeks, so no need to duplicate any weeks. All you need to do to work on your next weeks is to add the habits to the corresponding week and check them off. We have a few just popped up here just for example. On these above columns here is the habits, the frequency, and the life areas or the categories that habit is associated with. And then over here, we just have some tracking metrics. For example, I want to make my bed every day. It's a habit that I wouldn't necessarily do just a few times a week or expect myself to just do it a few times a week. So this frequency is marked as daily. Read, it's mostly something I'm going to work on doing on the weekdays. And journal is something I'm trying to do just a few times a week. So let's work here to add a different habit. So all I'm going to do is click on the box there, and I'm going to search for the habit of the list of habits that we've kind of built into this library, and workout / exercise is the option that I'm gonna pick with. So I picked it right there, and it already populated this life area or life category. All I need to do is pick the habit and then pick the frequency. And so this is a habit that I think I want to do 4 times a week. And so you see that this journal popped down and workout moved up. And that's because these rows are sorted by frequency. If you're going to do this habit more often, it's going to be at the top. So that's just a little bit of an organization thing we liked. For example, I know that today's Friday, and so I'm just going to go through and kind of track my habits according to this week. And so I know I made my bed every day this week, so I'm going to check it off so far all of those days. And you can see this percentage is moving up as well as the bar. And so that's really a good way to kind of go about checking this is, and then so read, I know that I think I only did it Wednesday and Monday. And so I know I'm a little bit behind on that, but that I still have the ability to finish out this week strong and read the next few days to get to my goal of 5 times per week. Exercise, I know that I've done that decently well. Kind of check off a few of those. And journal, I know I haven't done very well this week. So I'm just going to have one of those. Anyway, that's just kind of checked off right there. Over here on the other side, we have, if you scroll down a little bit, you have the habit titles that automatically show up. These two are, cut this out real quick. Section here needs to get deleted, and make bed is fine. So if you scroll down over here, we have the mobile view, and some mobile users may prefer this view versus having the desktop view, which I think is great for desktop, but some people might even want to use the mobile view on desktop. But this is how it works, is that it's filtered for only views that have this box filled out. So the only step to get it to show up is to go over here, and the habit title is right here. And so I can just take these, copy them, paste them right in there. And now all these habits are going to show up. And so when you're on your mobile phone, you're going to be able to easily check off these views and not have to necessarily scroll over to the side. So there is an introduction on how to use the mobile view right here. There's some information at the top as well in the guide, but that these sections on the weekly view are tied together. And so we can see up here that journal is not checked off for Wednesday or Thursday. And so if I come down here and I check it off for Wednesday, Thursday, we can come back up here and see that, that those sections got filled out. And so they're tied together, and now they can see that 100% of my journal habit is filled out for this week. A few things to keep in mind is throughout the weeks that if you're moving through them, you want to keep this frequency the same. So make sure when you're adding your new habits to each weekly view, that you're really keeping in mind how much you want to do this habit, and you're not changing that week to week because it'll break the reporting metrics. And so this is a really important thing to keep note of. And at the same time, if you go above this and say, I checked to only do it 3 times a week, but I added that I did it 6, this 200% is also going to break the reporting metrics down below. So now if we come down here into the section progress, not perfection, we can see that only the habits that we have added to the very top and that we have added any type of habit completion for, they're going to be showing up in the weekly progress or the annual progress. It's also going to be filtering for the frequency. So if we mess up the frequency at any point, it's going to mess with these reporting metrics. But this is a really great area to see what your progress is on a weekly and an annual basis for your specific habits that you're working on. And so you see I've added the physical health, workout and exercise, mental health, read. And so these are going to be also filtered by the life area that we're working on. So all of the mental health habits are going to be in this category, and the physical health habits are going to be filtered in the physical health life area. And yeah, so we can see just 1% annual progress, but I have 75% weekly average completion for this habit. A few things to keep in mind moving week to week throughout your habits is that, let's go to this first. So if you want to add a habit that is not necessarily in our library, say, for example, you've looked through all the habits that we have, which you can kind of scroll through here. We try to do a good job of adding habits that we know our users are going to be interested in, but there's definitely going to be certain habits that are going to be specific to your situation that we didn't add. And so let's say, for example, we've added take a walk, but we didn't add walk your dog. And so you want to add walk your dog, or how that's something of relevance to you. So let's say, for example, we added the take a walk habit into this list of habits available to you, but we didn't add walk your dog. And so that every time you go for a walk, you want to walk your dog, or you need to get your dog exercise. And so you want to add that habit. We're going to add this new habit, walk dog, into the habit list. You have this new habit of walk your dog, and you need to choose, let's say you want to do that 4 times a week. So it's going to be bumped up above journal. So when you add a new habit, it's not going to populate the life area because it's not already tied to an area that we have added on our end. And so one thing that's really nice about Notion and that you can do is you have this make bed habit that you have right here. But I don't have a dog, so I'm going to actually delete this habit and not have this in my library of habits to do. So all you do is go here to the links page, and there's a little minus mark here to unlink it. And just delete this section as well. This gets bumped back up to where it should be. Now we have our list of habits right here that we want to continue to work on. One of my favorite parts of Notion here is its ability to work on and add different pages at the same time. And so right here, I know that I have my workout / exercise habit, and I want to add some information about the type of workouts I'm doing. I'm doing what kind of split I'm doing, the days of the week that I'm going to work out on. So yeah, this is a great place to have notes on the habit that you're working on. This isn't something you have to go to a separate Google Doc or build out a separate page in Notion for. You can have all the information related to your habits right on the same habit tracker. And that's one of my favorite parts about this is that, you can really keep everything in-house and really easy to access on that front. Now, just moving week to week, since all of these habits are tied to a life area, we do not need to copy the life areas at the same time. All we need to copy is the habits and the frequencies. So I'm going to highlight both of those categories, and I'm going to click to week 2, and it's already going to be highlighted. So I just kind of have to click Control V and paste it in, and the areas will be automatically populated, and I'll be ready to go for that next week. And so I can start checking these off, and everything's going to be working already. As well as the only caveat here with the mobile view is that if we go to week 2, they're not going to be populated. So you just have to scroll over a little bit, copy these, and paste these right in so that they show up on your weekly view for the next week. And that's how you're going to move week to week throughout the habit tracker. One thing to keep in mind is that this copy and paste from week to week only works on desktop. So if you're on mobile, you're going to have to manually type them in and then paste them in. You're going to have to manually type them in and then click them to add them to each week. But if you also have time, we can get on the desktop, you can do it really quickly. It only takes a few seconds. That is nearly everything you need to know about how to use the Mind of Habit habit tracker in Notion. There are a few advanced instructions here on how to set up reminders or change the colors that you see below. For example, you want to change these all to a specific color. You want to change these icons that the habits that you use have. This Notion template is completely customizable. I urge you to make it your own and not conform to however we have built it. We have given you the tools to be able to customize it in any way that you see fit. And so we're really excited to see people's own design. So if you worked really hard on creating this new design for your Notion habit tracker, we urge you to share it with us. Send us a DM on Instagram or TikTok or wherever it may be, and maybe we kind of showcase them and show the different things that people have done with their trackers. Another thing to note is that at the very bottom, there's this database vault. This is a lot of the nuts and bolts of the tracker, so don't delete this, but you can feel free to move it anywhere you would like. Could you add actually this next clip that I'm going to say? I want it earlier in the video, maybe just a few minutes in. So Teo, if you could add in this section. Another thing that we're really excited about is your optimizing your habits section, is that we have added these life areas into the habit tracker. Throughout the course of the next few weeks and months, we're going to be adding in specific pieces of content surrounding of how you can optimize these areas in your life and our surrounding content on how you can do that. Currently, they're not built out, but feel free to check back in the future and see if we have added anything to these. So that's just one thing to keep an eye out for. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about the habit tracker, feel free to let me know, but make sure you go to mindhabit.com and put in your email to be able to download this free habit tracker and get it into your Notion account. Thank you.